Hello there, stampers and crafters. It's Jackie Ball-Hayes from Confident Stampers. I have a fun one-sheet wonder project for you. We're going to make 6 quick and easy cards using just a 6x12 piece of designer series paper. Now make sure you check the link in the video description to go to the blog post, so over there you can grab my free download. It will have the cutting instructions, pictures, and the diagram for cutting that designer series paper to make your 6 cards. So use the link over there, but first watch and see how quick and easy these cards are to make. Let's flip the camera down. Let's get crafting. So I think you're really going to like this project. We're going to make 6 quick and easy cards from a 6x12 piece of DSP. Now I purposely chose 6x12 because, you know, it comes in 12x12 and we're going to just cut half of it away. So, you know, sometimes I feel like we use some of our DSP, but we don't use it all. So this is going to be my one to kind of cut up and use in other ways. And then we'll use this one as our piece for cutting up for our one sheet wonder. Now, if you had 6x6, you could do that with this pattern as well, because the pattern really starts out by taking this and just cutting it in half. So in essence, I have 2 6x6s here. So we're going to start by taking the first one here, and we are going to cut this at 4, and then we'll turn it this way and do 3. So we have 2 pieces that are 3x4. Now this particular paper is not directional, which makes it really easy because I could put it on my card this way or that way. But if your paper is directional, that's okay. You'll just have to maybe change the orientation of each of the cards. Now this piece, okay, we're 2 inches and we're gonna just cut that down to 5. So we've got one little scrap here. We'll just set that one aside. So this is going to be for a card, because remember, we're making 6 cards all together. Now we'll take the other 6x6, cut it at 3 and at 3. So we're gonna have 2 3x3 pieces, set those aside. And then from this one, just to add a little bit more color to a couple of our cards, we're gonna go ahead and cut a 1/2 inch off and a 1/2 inch off. So this is gonna leave me at 5 and 3. So that's gonna be a card. And then these, we're gonna actually flip and use the reverse side just to have a little bit of something different on our cards. And that's it. So that is our only scrap. Now, I already went ahead and I cut some mats for all of these. I like to cut my mats at 1/8 of an inch bigger. So if we come back to our pieces here, remember we have 2 of them that are 3x4. And so I should have, 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And we're gonna just go ahead and stick that on there. Now you can use any color of cardstock. I'll show you a little tip. So here's my tip. This designer series paper that we're using is called the Floral Impressions. This is actually a new paper that'll be coming out on May 6th, but I can't read that very good. They list the colors there, so I tend to just take a Sharpie marker and I just write all the colors really big. So when I went to make this project, I grabbed this piece and I'm like, okay, what colors? And I settled on garden green, and we are also going to use pecan pie. So that's a little tip. And then my designer series paper, I just store in these great little 12x12 protectors. If you want to know where to get these, on my website, I do have Jackie's favorite things. It's a link up at the top under, I think, shop or something, and you'll get all the details on those. So let's go back here. We are gonna, I feel like I'm just doing a puzzle because I pre-cut everything. Now, I have a little freebie for you guys over on my website, and the link will be down in the video description to the blog post, where I'll have pictures of these projects, and I will also have a PDF that you can download, and it will have the diagram for cutting your designer series paper, as well as all the measurements I used, and then pictures of my completed cards. So you can do this. It is a great template that you can use with any papers. Just grab 2 different coordinating colors. I could be mixing and matching these backgrounds too if I wanted, but I want to keep it super simple and just mat everything with garden green. And then we will go ahead and put it on pecan pie bases. So this one, now you'll notice this one I cut a little bit bigger. and the measurements are on that download, because I'm going to put my square, remember that was a square, and then these little strips that I cut off, we're going to flip them over. So make sure you put your adhesive on the other side of it, and we're going to stick that right in the bottom. So that filled that in, just gives it a little bit, I don't know, something, a little bit more dimension, and using the back side of the paper for a couple of the cards. So again, we're going to go right up to the top. So I'm even top, left, and right. Take this piece, and I always have to think on that adhesive. And we're going to flip it over, and we got that. So we have our 6 pieces ready for our 6 cards. Now, before we put these on the card bases, what I want to do is my sentiments that are going to go on the cards. Now for the sentiments, we are using my new favorite stamp set. I have used this so much, guys. I love this. It's called More Messages. Look at all the awesome greetings you get, and it comes with a bundle, and you get a die. One die cuts them all out at one time. I don't know if these are right on here. Yeah, they are. They actually fit. Nope, it's not sized exactly. I'll show you that in a second. But this will cut all of these out with one die cut. It's also a great big stamp. It's one stamp. So to do this, I am using my Misti. I like using a stamp positioning tool for my big stamps like this. I know some of you have a Stamparatus. I've got an old Stamparatus as well, but Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell that anymore. So I've really taken to liking the Misti as an option for a stamp positioner. So for big stamps, it works great, but even if you kind of have a hard time with blocks and pressing evenly and all that, a stamp positioner will help you. There'll be a link down in the video description as well to take you for more information on the Misti. Now, what I'm doing is I have a piece of essentially scrap paper, basic white. I had to make sure it's big enough to fit my whole stamp. I lay my stamp down on there just to make sure I'm gonna fit it all on there, okay, without guessing. And then I close this up, press on there, and it's going to pick it up. So we're ready to stamp. So now let's take our pecan pie here, and we're gonna just ink up our stamp. Okay, this is, sorry if it's shaking a little bit there. And then, I'll make sure you stay in the camera here. All I need to do is close this and press down. Now I didn't tell you that white down there, I made sure I put it really nice and tight in the corner. I used a magnet to hold it a little bit. And now I'm gonna give it some nice pressure. And when I pick it up, you can see it's stamped actually really good. There's a couple places though that I wish were just a little bit darker. So this is, to me, the best reason to use a stamp positioner is as long as my cardstock didn't move, it stays tight there. I can ink it again, and I can go ahead and press on it again. Okay, and there we go. Look at the great image I got out of that. Remove the magnet, take this out, and we'll just set that aside. And what I'm gonna do then is go ahead, and now you can see how this lines up, and it lines up so easily. There's plenty of room. Put it on there. You're gonna run it through your cut and emboss machine, and voila, you're gonna have all of those greetings. Now, I did cheat a little bit. I did one beforehand, and I actually have some here with this Secret C. Okay, stamped that one. And then here's a whole set of them in pecan pie that we can use for our cards now. So let's go back and finish up our 6 cards. So I got my card bases. I'm gonna show you one more little trick. I'm into tricks today, I guess. When you're cutting a lot of card bases, what I like to do is score once and cut once to get 2. So we're gonna score at 4 1/4, okay? And then spin it around, and we can go ahead and cut it at 5 1/2. That gives me my 2 card bases that are both scored. Makes it easy peasy. And then all we have to do, remember the bumpy side or the ridge there goes on the inside, and we'll take each one of these and fold it in half, and we're gonna just put our cards together. It'll be that easy. So now as I'm doing this, just a quick reminder, make sure you look at the video description, and you'll find a link to the blog post. There you'll get information on grabbing the free download that will have the pattern and all the measurements for these cards, as well as information on that Misti if you'd like to look into that. Now, we're gonna start sticking these on our card bases. So if you notice, I'm using Stamp and Seal today. I most always use the liquid adhesive, but I kind of ran out. I'm actually still in Arizona for the winter, and I didn't want to place another order because we're leaving soon. So we hauled out the seal. Now you can see I'm just adding these to my card bases. And this is where, if your paper was directional, let's see, what do we want to do with that one? What about right there? You know, you would just have to maybe have your card then go that way or that way, depending on the direction, okay? So it's kind of the beauty of this pattern. All of these designs would work good no matter, you know, which way the cards are. So you don't have to worry about that directional part. Okay, we're almost there. We'll stick our sentiments on and it will be voila, we will be done. Let's see, I think we want that one right in the middle like so. And then I do have another set using the same pattern that I'm going to show you when I'm done with this one, just to kind of show you how it's so easy to use any designer series paper, coordinating cardstock, and sentiments to create your cards. So now the fun part, okay, this one I can go either way. We are going to just look at all of these great sentiments. How about we'll do Forever Friends. So I'm just going to pick a sentiment for each one here, and we're going to, oops, pop them up on dimensionals. So there is our first card. Then let's see, how about, oh, Miss You. I like Miss You. I actually send lots of Miss You cards because my family and a lot of my friends are scattered everywhere. So let's see. You know, honestly, the hardest part about this is deciding where do you want to stick your sentiments. Okay, there's that one. Let's see, what do we have here? How about, let's, you know what, we might need mini dimensionals there, and I don't have any handy. Let's use Hi There. So for this one, I hope you see, gosh, we're maybe at 10 minutes, if even that, and we are actually completing all of these cards. So with this one, with that little green down there, I like to put the sentiment kind of overlapping both of them. How about You Can Do Anything? Great encouragement card. And so we'll pop those off. Same thing, let's go right into that green. And then we have two more. This one, since it's got a pretty big image, let's use one of our larger greetings on this one. You know what? I'm going to pull this down here. Let's fill that in there. And then we have one more. Let's do, how about just, oh, Happy Day. Great card for anything. Let's see. Hope I'm getting everything on here. I have dimensional backings flying everywhere. And again, you know, I like to kind of pull it off. There we go. There are our 6 cards made out of our 6x12 one sheet wonder. Great pattern to use for anything. Now let me show you the other set that I made. Okay, this is also another new paper that's coming, but I use that same More Messages. Oh, and the More Messages is coming in May as well when the new catalog comes out. So there's those two. Now this paper was directional, so I did have to be conscious as I was putting them together. They had to always go that way, which I think I made the other ones the same direction as well, and just added simple greetings onto all of them. So I hope you love this project. More importantly, I hope you create with this project, but probably the most important thing is I hope you make these cards and you pop them in the mail to bless somebody with happy mail in their mailbox. So thanks for watching. Make sure to hop over to the blog post and grab the free download so that you have all the measurements. Thanks guys, we'll be stamping again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.